Who actually needs the Atomos Ninja TX, and who should just walk away? If you're shooting serious video, whether you're a working creator, a hobbyist stepping up, or even a beginner with big ambitions, this thing promises to turn your camera into a proper cinema rig. But if you're just vlogging or filming quick TikToks, this might be overkill. And if you're already invested in a brand ecosystem like Sony or Canon, compatibility could get messy. The link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Now, let's be real, most of us start with what we have. You've got a mirrorless camera, maybe a decent lens, and you're trying to level up your footage without breaking the bank. The Ninja TX sits right at that awkward middle ground. It's not a full cinema camera, but it's not a phone rig either. It's for creators who want the look of high-end video without the price tag of a Red or ARRI. Think indie filmmakers, documentary shooters, or YouTubers who need reliable, high bitrate recording for color grading later. If that's you, this could be a game changer. One thing that stands out is the 5.2-inch HDR display. In bright daylight, most camera screens wash out. But the Ninja TX has a bright, color-accurate panel that lets you trust your exposure and focus even in harsh sunlight. That's huge when you're on location and can't rely on the camera's built-in screen. And it's not just bright, it's accurate. You can actually see if your skin tones are off or if your blacks are crushed before you press record. For anyone serious about color work, that kind of confidence is priceless. Then there's the recording side. The Ninja TX can handle 8K RAW at 30 frames per second. Now, unless you're delivering 8K content, which, let's be honest, almost no one is, you probably won't use that every day. But the flexibility matters. If you're shooting for future-proofing, or if you need to crop in post without losing quality, having that headroom is a safety net. Even if you're mostly shooting in 4K, the ability to record ProRes RAW or DNxHR means your footage will hold up better in post. That's the kind of thing that separates hobbyist footage from professional-looking work. Power is another big win. The Ninja TX uses standard Sony NB batteries, which are everywhere. You can grab a dummy battery for your camera, and the whole rig runs off the same power source. No more carrying a ton of proprietary batteries or worrying about running out mid-shoot. That's a small thing, but when you're on a 12-hour documentary shoot, it's the difference between finishing your day and scrambling for a charger. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, compatibility. The Ninja TX works with a ton of cameras, but not all. It supports HDMI and SDI inputs, so if your camera has clean HDMI out, you're golden. But if you're using a camera that doesn't output a clean signal like some consumer-grade mirrorless models, you might run into issues. And even if it does work, you'll need to check if your camera's firmware supports the Ninja TX. Some brands update slowly, so do your homework before buying. If you're locked into a system like Fujifilm or Panasonic, make sure this thing plays nice first. Another thing to consider is the hot shoe mount. It's aluminum alloy and comes with 2 plates, which is handy if you're swapping between cameras. But if you're using a heavy cinema lens or a matte box, the mount might not be beefy enough. You could end up needing a cage or a more robust rig just to keep everything stable. And if you're hand-holding the setup, the extra weight might get tiring fast. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to plan for. Then there's the price. This isn't a cheap accessory. For the cost of the Ninja TX, you could get a decent cinema camera or a high-end mirrorless body. So unless you really need the recording flexibility or the monitoring accuracy, it might not be worth it. If you're just starting out, you'd probably be better off investing in better glass or lighting first. But if you're already at the point where you're frustrated by your camera's limitations like overheating during long takes or poor dynamic range, then this could be the upgrade you need. One last thing, the menu system. It's not the most intuitive, and if you're not familiar with Atomos' ecosystem, you might spend a frustrating hour figuring out how to switch between monitoring and recording modes. There's a learning curve, and if you're in the middle of a shoot, that's time you don't have. But once you get it set up, it's smooth sailing. Just don't expect plug-and-play simplicity. So, who should buy the Atomos Ninja TX? If you're a working creator who needs reliable, high-quality recording and accurate monitoring, this is a solid